I'm fat, but I want to be athletic. So I'm starting a 90-day experiment to see how athletic I can be. Welcome to the FATletics experiment, where I'm going through 3 30-day training cycles to see how athletic I can be. At the start of each 30 days, I'll be doing some quick testing, including a 40-yard dash, a vertical jump test, and some strength tests to see how athletic I'm getting from each of the 30-day phases, as well as seeing where I start and eventually where I finish. All right, y'all, it is officially the start of week 4. It is Monday. Just a few quick things. The cut, I didn't update the cut in the last part because it's not going well. I'm the same weight I was 2 weeks ago, which is a problem. I know I need to lock in. It's full accountability. It's just me just being a fatty. I'll do good for like 3 or 4 days and just have one bad binge. So I need to get that back under control. Stop smoking that shit, you know. Munchies got me going crazy. But today marks the start of another new thing we're adding. So we just added plyometrics to the last leg day during week 3. Today we're adding conditioning. That's gonna be on different days than the leg days. And for now, it's not gonna be super crazy intense or intentional. That'll be a big phase 3 thing. But I wanna get at least into like somewhat decent shape, ending out this phase and then getting into the next phase, because we're going to get into more plyometrics, and we're going to be using a lot of French contrast, which is a training modality where you're doing supersets between a strength exercise and a plyometric exercise that helps like build neuromuscular pathways, and it's super beneficial. I'll talk a lot about that in the future training videos, but for today we're starting some conditioning. I'm going to be on the rower. The rower is one of my favorite conditioning methods other than just doing the sport you're trying to condition for, because you can do it and it's a full body thing. It spreads the load out nice and evenly, so you're not gassing out your legs like jogging or going hard on a bike, but you can still do some high intensity intervals. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Not really high intensity to start out, but I'm gonna be doing some interval training. So I'll have a little playlist made of songs that are specific structure, where it's like the chorus is about 30 seconds long and pretty high energy, and that'll be my 30-minute bursts or 30-second bursts. And then it will be followed by like 45 seconds to a minute of a slower pace. So you guys will get to see that, see how I'm sort of doing some interval training in a kind of unorthodox way, in a way that makes it a lot more enjoyable for me. So that's gonna be the main way I'm conditioning for now. All right, so here's me on the rower. This is what it looks like when I'm listening to those more mellow parts of songs, right? RPE 5 to 6, and then you can see it's gonna transition, and I'm gonna start going faster. This session, I was only going like 7 to 8 RPE. Normally, I'd push that to 8 or 9, though. All right, guys, on to leg day now. Today is the hardest leg day of the entire experiment so far. We're going for 365 for 3 sets of 3 on the deadlift, which is a huge PR. Never even really attempted this for a single. So, and that's the same as the 345 and 355 we hit before, right? Those are new weights that I've never touched before, because I don't power lift, so I don't max out my my barbell lifts that often. Other than at the end of this little 30-day cycle right here, I will. But so 365 is a huge PR to me. And then after that, we have to back squat. So we'll see how the back squats are feeling. We're gonna work our way hopefully into like the 250, 275 range, because squats are also gonna be a big part of the next phase. That's gonna be one of my primary strength movements, along with cleans, right? So we're trying to build a tolerance for squats right now after the deadlifts. I don't expect them to go crazy high. I haven't gone above 225 pounds on a squat in a long time, since before my most recent knee surgery, actually. So we'll see how that moves. And then, like always, it's just like accessory movements, calf raises, leg extension, like girls, just to build up work capacity for the higher volume training cycles that are upcoming. All right, here's the deadlift right here. This is actually my second set. My camera gave out during my first set, but here's the second set of 365 pounds for 3. This is in contrast to my deadlifts from last week. I actually like my technique here a lot more. My back is still rounding, but not as badly as it was last week. But it was still pretty fatiguing on the low back, especially that last rep. So I ended up not doing a third set of 3. I was also on a time constraint. I did get back to work after this. But yeah, hit that 365 for 3, moved pretty well. Then we went to the squats, and as I was warming up for squats, 225 moved really well. So I did end up putting 275 on the bar. Just decided to see how far I could go with this weight. So you're gonna see I'm gonna get up to 4 reps here. I think my legs could have pushed out a 5th rep for sure, but my low back from those deadlifts was just like so fatigued, and I've been doing so much work with my low back recently that I was not having it today, and I ended up doing a set of 3 and a set of 2 after this with the same weight. All right, we're closing in on the end of week 4. We're heading to the gym real quick to hit an upper body session. It's gonna be a push day. While we're there, we're gonna get some lower body mobility in after leg day yesterday, and some brain fart conditioning, mobility and conditioning after the push day. Now's the best time for me to do that because I got the day off work. So yeah, we're gonna be pretty focused, pretty locked in. Got electrolytes and all that for the workout. I'll see y'all in the gym. All right, y'all. That's it for this week's part. But I quickly just want to throw in a little segment to let you guys know what's going on for next week. So next week will be the official testing for the end of this first 30 days. I'm pretty excited to see where I'm at, right? We're going for that. Hopefully try and touch a 400-pound deadlift. I'm really interested to see what the sprint and jumps are looking like. They're probably going to look either about the same as they were or worse, just because I haven't trained for them specifically. I'm just putting the hardware on my body to get better at those things. So the next video will be mostly about those testing things. But what else? I'll give the final update on the cut and how everything has gone with that. I will be making that part like right after Christmas, so might be a little funky. But I'm ending this week out on like a partial deload, so I'm just taking it really light and easy. No hard training sessions. I've just been doing cardio, upper body stuff still, but keeping it light on the legs. Probably going to do some sets of like RDLs or something in a few days, or in the next few days, just to keep my legs like strong, get that force production through them. I might do like an overcoming isometric to get the high motor unit recruitment without a ton of soreness or fatigue. But I'll see y'all next week where we're going to be testing out my deadlift, testing out my sprint, testing out my vert. We'll see how we're doing after this first 30 days.